It's always lit over at ajsrantroom.com. We got the best bags and accessories, our beloved Black Series. We got fresh lids for you hat lovers, fire jackets and hoodies, and of course we got you covered on the t-shirts. And introducing our first shoe line, Aloysius Germain. So get on over to ajsrantroom.com today and get to shopping. You won't be disappointed. What's up? Of course, this happens when I go live. Of course. Why would it not happen? Anyway, happy Monday, everybody. I hope we're good. I'm I have no words right now. I'm still sick, but I'm here. I made it. No complaining. It could be worse, right? Hallelujah. Hold on. Let me get my life together here. AJ's sister's name is Kent. You know what? Shut up, Tony. Anyway, can you? Oh, thank you, Amy. Y'all ahead of me now. Y'all can hear me. Y'all can see me. Let me fix my little mic here. Give me 1 second. Oh well, I think my microphone is broken. we're just gonna have a great day. Um, um, yeah. All right. Welcome in, everybody. Happy Monday. Hope everybody had a great weekend. Mike is not winning today, and I don't feel like doing a whole show doing this, but this time we're gonna have to do this, and I'll try to go to a break and fix it. Anyway, my notes aren't even ready. It's just that kind of day. But let me give you a little quick story while so I had one pill left last night. So I was like, okay, that'll get me through the night. And so I put my order in to Target to the first delivery time. I'd ordered it at like midnight. So I was like, the first delivery is at 8 a.m. Cool, perfect. So around 7 o'clock, the person got the order, the delivery person. They did all the shopping. They went to pay for it. Everything was fine. And then some glitch happened and it canceled the whole order. So I had to put everything back. And so I had to reorder everything. And so I reordered everything. And then I got the same driver. I don't know how the process works, but I got the same driver. And then stuff got delivered. Everything but the medication.
I was like, you could have left anything else in this order. I just need it because you have to do $35 for it to not so that you can not have to pay for the delivery when you have a membership. And here we go. This is what y'all do to me. This is what y'all do to me. So I still got to go outside and get medication after this because apparently. And then when I looked at the order, because I'm like, why would that not be in the order? I know I put it in the order. And then I looked in the order and it literally said canceled. It said that it was canceled. And I was like, why would that be canceled? That was the one thing that I needed. Anyway, so yeah. At that point, I would have just went back to bed. I was tempted. I was tempted. That's why we were late today because I was like, I was fighting. I was back and forth. I was like, am I gonna do it? Am I not gonna do it? Am I gonna do it? Am I not gonna do it? I was like, look, who cares? We're almost at Christmas. We'll be fine. Um, where are my notes? Oh, so very prepared today. All right. So yeah, we have some mostly dark things to talk about today. Um, mostly dark things to talk about. I didn't put this up here, but really quickly, um, Selena's father, Abraham Quintanilla, passed away over the weekend. Um, and I didn't get a chance to put it on the in a slot here, but he lived a long, great life, and I couldn't imagine losing a child at 23 and her becoming a global icon. Anyway, here we go. So, I gotta like remix, rah rah. All right, so with the big news of the moment. Oh, are we still doing that? I thought we was off that. Um, so as we all know by now, Rob Reiner um has passed away along with his wife. Um, absolute tragedy. Um, listen, you got to know when to put the politics aside and just saying your condolences. President Trump, I'm not even sharing his message. It was so stupid. I was like, I'm not sharing this. It's like everybody's mad. Like, but I mean, I look. You got to know when to put the politics down. Whether he voted for you, whether he liked you, whether he supported you or not, none of that matters. The man got butchered to death allegedly by his own child. Does it matter at this point? No, it doesn't. Now understand. You got a little drama and trauma in your life. I get it. I get it. You got a little drama, you got a little trauma. I get it. They've almost killed you several times. I understand that. But Trump is not about you right now. Just saying your condolences. You ain't got to do that was the it was just the worst, right? It was literally the equivalent of what people did to Charlie Kirk. Anyway, so Rob Reiner, his wife, were reportedly found stabbed to death in their LA home yesterday. People in TMZ report the alleged attacker is their son, Nick Reiner. Now being held on $4 million bail. Nick publicly battled addiction and homelessness and even made Being Charlie with his father a semi autobiographical film about his drug struggles. Here's a clip of Rob and Nick talking about the documentary.
So I've watched the film. It's difficult to watch in a lot of parts. There's a lot of heavy topics in there. And you've made no secret about the inspiration behind the film. You have battled substance abuse for years. What made you, I want to start with you, Nick, what made you decide to put this story in film form?
Well, it started out as a television show that we wrote, and I get asked this question a lot, like, why would you want to put your story out there? And it was never that difficult for me to share what I struggled about, and it was never like, oh, this will help someone else. It was just like, I have a lot of experiences that might be valuable to other people, but I just find them interesting and I would like the world to know about them. I never thought it would get this far, though.
You didn't?
No, and now I have to own up to it.
So how did it get this far? Explain to me how this became a collaboration.
Well, I mean, Nick, as he said, he met Matt Elisafan, who's the other screenwriter. They met in a rehab place, and they started making notes and observations of people that they saw there. And after they both got out, Nick contacted Matt and said, "Hey, maybe there's something in this. We should write something." And so they got together and they wrote this half hour, and they showed it to me, and I thought it was funny, but I thought it lacked a depth because I knew
You thought it was funny.
Well, it was funny.
Yeah.
It was funny, but
It
it
wasn't
was
that.
supposed to be a comedy, and I thought this subject really could go a lot deeper. They then wrote an hour comedy drama, and we tried to set it up. We couldn't set it up, and then I suggested, why don't we try to see if we can make a screenplay out of it? So the whole process took about a year, and Matt and Nick, they wrote this draft that was 190 pages, and they threw everything in that they had, and I helped them shape it, and it got to be what it is. And we took from our experiences, but it was also a combination of other people that Nick and Matt had come across in their times in rehab.
Did you always know that you wanted to be involved on this level?
No. I mean, I did think when Nick was going through his roughest period, I mean, it was like from 15 to 19, and during that period, there was a couple of books that came out that was by father and son, Nick Sheff, and I think it was David Sheff. They're both perspectives on what had happened, and Nick Sheff was, had a drug problem, and the father was a writer, and they wrote these two different books. One was called Beautiful Boy, the other was called Tweak. And I thought, hey, maybe there's something in there, because I know Nick is going through, I had no idea how difficult it was for him.
Yeah.
But I knew what I was going through, and I thought maybe there's something in that, in a story. But then I kind of put it aside because I thought, this is too raw and it's too difficult. But I guess when we had a little distance on it, then we could kind of start looking at it, and it came to be what
But
it
on
is.
that same point, that's
Could you imagine? I mean, again, this is why I tell people, just live your lives. But could you imagine that the person you brought into this world takes your life for what reason? For what like that? I think that's the main thing you want to know. Why? What happened that was so crazy that you butchered both of your parents? That Yeah, sometimes you're pissed off with your parents. Sometimes they get on your nerves. Sometimes they're a little insensitive. Yeah, all of that stuff. But butcher them in there. I don't know if they were sleeping or what happened. Like, I don't know. We don't know the details yet. But this is crazy. What in the world? Like, and by all accounts, he was a good father. Like, I mean, you did what you could. I mean, you can't. You're not your only kid's influence, and then things. And then I saw something online because of course, you had President Trump, and then you have the other psychopaths that call themselves conservatives. Well, he said Charlie Kirk deserved to die. Actually, this is what Rob Reiner said about Charlie Kirk.
You first heard about the murder of Charlie Kirk. What was your immediate gut reaction to it?
Well, horror. Absolute horror. And I unfortunately saw the video of it, and it's beyond belief what happened to him, and that should never happen to anybody. I don't care what your political beliefs are. That's not acceptable. That's not a solution to solving problems. And I felt like what his wife said at the service, that the memorial they had, was exactly right. And totally, I believe, I'm Jewish, but I believe in the teachings of Jesus, and I believe in doing to others, and I believe in forgiveness. And what she said to me was beautiful, and absolutely, she forgave his assassin. And I think that is admirable.
all the other stuff aside, the crazy political activism and the budget to the qua stuff and all of that, um, whatever. I think we get so caught up in what letters next to our names are, DEI, that we don't really understand that at the end of the day, we're just human beings. We're all flawed. We're all a little crazy sometimes. We're all not always on point. We don't always say and do the right things. But ultimately, if you get bludgeoned to death by your own child, and yeah, you can kind of put that aside for a moment. And I think a lot of people, quote unquote, on the right, did just that. They literally, but I saw some people preemptively saying, well, MAGA, this is your chance because you were complaining about the way people treat char. Yeah, I've not seen one video of somebody celebrating the murder of Rob Reiner. Why would you celebrate the death of anybody? Now, do I have some thoughts? Yes, about not him, but other people. Yes, there's some people in this world that I think absolutely should be eliminated by firing squad, but that's my personal thoughts and opinions. Um, um, uh, on X, I saw a few people on X saying, "Oh, who cares? He said Charlie Kirk deserved it," and I was like, "He didn't say that. He didn't say that. I don't recall him saying that." And so, yeah, like we can all agree to disagree, but ultimately, nobody wants to see you get bludgeoned to death or stabbed to death by your own child. Anyway, yes, R.I.P. Meathead. Um, and thank you for your contribution to the arts and all the cuckooistic politics and all that stuff. And let's keep the conversation going. Anyway, so and more tragedy. So there was a mass shooting at Brown University over the weekend. Two people are confirmed dead. Several others are wounded. Now, what's really weird is that there was a 6-hour time lapse. There are over 800 cameras on the campus, and they couldn't get one good shot of the suspect. Isn't that something? But, you know, this is a school that has the annual tuition is about $71,000. Yeah. And to have the president of the school be absolutely dumb and absolutely clueless and absolutely have no idea what's going on is ridiculous hours and hours later.
President, with all due respect, 6 hours after this shooting, and you said you don't know what was going on in that classroom? How does that happen? Were they taking an exam? Were they meeting for a club?
I don't know.
6 hours later, and you're the president, and you don't know?
I do not know.
Well, that's kind of concerning.
Oh, the humanity. Anyway, one victim has been identified by her church as 19-year-old Ella Cook, a sophomore from Alabama. Cook was also the vice president of the Brown University College Republicans, and there you have it. So if you're conservative, Republican, or Jewish, um, we get this flip it. I don't know. But if this was the young fat Lesbians of America club, we would know everything, wouldn't we? We would have the suspect. We would know who they were. We would know we would know their background. We would know everything. We have nobody at this point. So that means there's literally a psychopath still on the loose, probably up in your area still, regardless, still on the loose. And we're just, yeah, I don't know. I don't know why they were there. And apparently the building that they were meeting in was an older building, so it didn't have as many security cameras or whatever. I don't care. If I'm paying $71,000, there should be cameras everywhere. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And for us to be 6 hours into this and you have no idea why the kids were there, and you had no idea what was going on, you can't answer basic questions at this point. 6 hours later, Miss President of the school. Oh, okay. Yeah. Because they don't fit, these. No, they just killed a bunch of Republicans. We don't care. They just shot at a bunch of Republicans. Who cares? This is the stupidity of it all. Not to mention, this is a gun-free zone, right? Yeah, we're going to continue to talk about gun-free zones because we're going to go over to Australia, right? Australia. So, could you imagine? You're just celebrating Hanukkah, minding your business, people gathering. Whatever they do for Hanukkah. I don't know. I'm not Jewish, and I don't know much about the holiday or the tradition. But people gathered at Bondi Beach in Australia. And all of a sudden, this father and son, musties, terrorists, decided, oh, we're just going to open fire on the beach at the people. It's sitting there. And so they killed 15 people, ages 10 to 87. 42 are, 42 are hospitalized. Absolutely ridiculous. I can't show the footage of like any of the action because people have posted a lot of images and videos of the action that went on. You just go on X, you can see everything. I can't show it here because of YouTube and then TikTok and then all the other people. So if you want to go find the action footage, you can go find that on X. Just put in Bondi Beach, it'll come right up. Anyway, here's excuse me. Here's one gentleman describing some of the carnage.
Simple as that. 20 minutes was 4 policemen there. Nobody give fire back. Nothing. Like they are froze. Like for it looked like 20 minutes. Like and they shoot. The guy changed magazine. I look at him all the time. I was with 2 of my babies under me, and I look at that, and it's just rifle and a pistol, and just shoot. And the other one was under. They start to come close to the audience. I think one of the people took his rifle and shoot him. That's one of them. That's what I saw. I didn't know how much I saw, but
who were they targeting?
Oh, all the crowd. Anyway.
Now, it's clear that, of course, I mean, allegedly, most people aren't violent, right? Even the Muslim population. But of course, it only takes a few to mess it up for everybody, right? So when you mess it up for everybody, I don't know. I just don't have much empathy for you. But there's one gentleman. Wait, I need his picture.
He's in the hospital.
No, not you. Hold on. Come on. It's doing that. There we go. All right, cool. There we go. So this is the gentleman who, if you saw this video, is very dramatic. This is also one of the shoot 'em up videos. But anyway, Ahmed El Ahmad is a 43-year-old Muslim father of 2. He jumped in to disarm one of the shooters at the Bondi Beach mass shooting. He was shot twice in the exchange, but he is recovering. Give this man make him a hero. Because if you saw the video where he literally rolled up behind him and grabbed him, took the shotgun. Thankfully, the musty he took the shotgun from didn't have another piece, and then he blasted him with his own piece. Oh, great! So what in the world? This, from all, isn't like Hanukkah the most it's the most holy holiday or something to that effect. And could you imagine just coming together to celebrate your culture, your beliefs, your traditions, and then you have these radical, ridiculous monkeys literally open fire on you, and literally you're confused. You don't know when it's going to end. You don't know if you're going to get hit. You're trying to protect your family. You don't know if you got hit, how this is going to go down, if this could be the last day of your life or someone you love's life, or you literally see somebody get blown away. This is just terrible. But give this man all of the accolades, give him all of the awards. And here's one of his friends talking about his current condition.
Still, he's in the hospital, and we don't know exactly what's going inside. but they said the doctor he's very okay. And next 2 hours, they let us to go in and see Ahmed because he's still inside and he do the operation. But we hope he will be fine. He's a hero, 100%. He's a hero because what we see on the social media, he's 100% hero.
To his shoulder?
Yeah, he have 2 shots, one in his arm here and one in his hand.
And have you been able to talk to him today?
No, because I come when I see what's happening, and I come here to see him. But they said he's not allowed to go inside because he have to make an operation, whatever. I'm still waiting to see him.
So this
Well, there you go.
this goes back to the saying. This is like gun-free zones here in America, right? You're just basically a sitting duck, right? You're disarming the law-abiding citizen, but you realize terrorists and criminals don't care about your gun laws, right? That they're going to do what they want, right? And so this is a tall tale. Like literally, these people were just sitting ducks. They had no defense. And you have these 2 crazy people literally blasting at them, and they had no retort. But thankfully, people stepped up. One of them got killed, and the other was injured. And there's another video where one of the guys rolls up. He's on the ground. The terrorist is on the ground, and somebody boot stomps him. Perfect, boot stomp that mother. You deserve every boot. More people should have stomped on you. Sitting up here messing up our good time with your stupidity. Yeah. Now that, ladies and gentlemen, is anti-Semitism. How this happened in Australia. You had the Prime Minister of Australia. Don't be Islamophobic. Yes, be Islamophobic. If you see something, say something. If these people, yeah. So this is why taking guns from law-abiding citizens is a bad idea. Australia. And you know where they got this immigration thing right? Poland. Poland got this immigration thing right. They said we ain't letting no musties in here. Y'all can't come here. And Poland has been the better for it. No terrorist attacks. No, unemployment's low. Everything seems to be working out for them in Poland. And it is probably the best thing they could have ever done for themselves, because look at several other European countries and look what these people have done, and they're not trying to assimilate and blend in with all of these respective cultures. They're trying to take over, because their mission and their vision is to take and to not contribute and not to live in harmony. That's not what they want to do, and they've made it clear, And in America, I don't know when we're going to wake up, but by the time we wake up, it's probably going to be too late. Anyway, so a Jewish man fell on top of his son during the massacre, and he administered first aid to a security guard who was shot. And here's his account.
Fresh blood all over his...
So I was with my son, 8 years old. I pushed him to the ground and I fell on top of him. And then there's another security guard from JSA. JSA was hit in the shoulder and fell on top of me. The shooting was going on 5 minutes non-stop.
How many gunshots do you think were fired in that fight?
Probably 50, 60 gunshots. It was non-stop.
And the whole time you were lying on top of your 8-year-old son?
And then I was trying to give the first aid to the guy because he was bleeding profusely. So
which guy? A guy next to you?
The security guy that was shot, yes. And then once the shooting stopped, I went out, tried to help people. But I tell you one thing. I got these candles there, and I'm going to go home and I'm going to light them up. Because we must light up and keep the show going. We're not afraid.
Amen.
Yeah.
That's the biggest lesson here. Do not back down to these monkeys. Do not submit to their will. Do not waver in your belief, whatever your belief. Whether I agree with it or not doesn't matter. You have the right to believe as you wish. No, yes. Do not waver in your beliefs. In fact, I might go find one and light it up too. Anyway, prayers to the people of Bondi Beach, Australia. may the rest of your Hanukkah be peaceful. And, unfortunately, condolences to all of the people who passed away and who are injured and who will probably spend the holidays in the hospital. It's just a tragedy all around. And basically, if you're conservative, Republican, and Jewish in this world, nobody cares. All right, cool. Anyway, this happened this morning. So basically, the FBI has folded a terror plot. They were going to plan to do some nefarious things in Los Angeles on New Year's Eve.
Breaking news, 10 minutes past the hour. This news happening out of Los Angeles. The FBI now reports that it's disrupted a planned New Year's Eve terror attack in Los Angeles. 4 suspects in custody, the FBI identifying them as members of a pro-Palestine extremist group. They're suspected of planning coordinated IED attacks targeting 5 different locations in Los Angeles. But based on the reporting now, that plot has been foiled. We will wait for more out of LA or out of Washington, D.C. for what the FBI has to say about that developing story. And
yeah, one of the things that crossed my mind as all of these stories were developing is say a prayer for the first responders. Right?
Yes.
The ones who are first on the scene, who have to see some of these horrific things that are hard to unsee, and they help protect people and comfort people by getting the information out there to them as quickly as possible.
They are under a lot of pressure, too, when you hear stories like this.
Yes, the carnage of it all. Just be aware. I mean, are they going to be able to stop all of them? No. But thankfully, this one was aborted, and hopefully, there's no other musties trying anything. And you know what's so funny? You know what I find so funny? When people talk about Islam and they're like, "Well, do white Christians?" No. These people are doing it in the name of their religion. It's not the same. Timothy McVeigh and all these other psychopaths, they weren't doing this in the name of Jesus. They were just crazy. They are people with issues. There's a big difference. So they weren't doing it because they were Christian. They were doing it because they had problems, mental problems, social, whatever problems. They had problems. So it's not the same. So please stop comparing the two. These people are screaming Allahu Akbar and whatever the fuck they talk about, but it's not the same. It's not the same. So get over it. Stop trying to deflect and just own the fact that you let all of these people in from the southern border. Your president, Joe Biden, let these people in. And now there are sleeper cells all over this country. And let's just pray most of them never wake up. All right, cool. Anyway, where are we? Oh. All right. So Erika Kirk said, yo, let's talk. Pull up, Candy. And so apparently they're going to have a conversation, a private conversation today. Now, do I trust Candace Owens? I don't know, but this is the tweet. Candace Owens and I are meeting for a private in-person discussion on Monday, December 15th. Candace and I have agreed that public discussions, live streams, and tweets are on hold until after this meeting. I look forward to a productive conversation. First of all, it better be an ironclad non-disclosure agreement. That's the first order of business. Second of all, if she gets out of pocket, punch her in the face. She's earned it at this point. Third of all, also make her sign an agreement that she's not going to go back on her podcast and start blaming people from Turning Point USA or you or anybody else with no facts, no evidence, and no proof, because basically she's just made a complete ass of herself at this point. And we're bored, quite frankly. We're really, really bored, you know? And so I'm pretty sure all the parameters are set up and all the legal teams have said everything and done everything. And I'm pretty sure she'll have a lawyer present. You'll have lawyers present, all of that stuff. But I'm just throwing my little 2 cents in there. But hopefully, I'm hoping this will finally squash the beef and we never have to hear about this ridiculousness again. And Candace can go on to the next phase of her career now that she's made all of this money. It must be nice to stir up ish and get all these super chats and just have people support you because you're just coming up with wild conspiracies. Must be nice. Must be nice. I don't ever want that though, because once you're a cult leader, you're kind of like locked in. You can't waver. Anyway, this was an interesting video that dropped this weekend as well. This was a woman who worked for Blexit. Remember Blexit? Get the black people off the Democrat plantation. Get the black people. Get the black people. And then all of a sudden, Blexit just went away, and no explanation, no closing, no grand closing, nothing. It was just gone. Anyway, so this woman worked for Blexit, and this is what she had to say.
Both my husband and I volunteered and worked for Candace Owens' nonprofit organization, Blexit, in 2020, 2021, and 2022. The last 3 years that she was president of that organization, they were $1 million in the hole every single year. In 2022, she paid herself $250,000 that year and claimed on the tax forms that she was working an average of 30 hours a week for Blexit. This is while she was doing her Daily Wire show every week. And I want you to go and look at her platform during 2022. Was she even ever mentioning Blexit during that time? Because she's like basically abandoned that mission. Yet she claims she was working 30 hours a week for Blexit. And then you can look this up. All of this is public knowledge. Go to ProPublica. It's a place where you can look up Form 990s, where you can look up the tax returns on these nonprofits. That year, Blexit spent $800,000 on social media fundraising. And then she also spent another $380,000 on security. These are donor funds. And when I was volunteering for Blexit, we were doing events like delivering meals and lunches to police stations. She was never part of those things. What she was part of was the Blexit rallies, where she was flying in private jets to these rallies, using donor funds to fly in private jets. And you're gonna be like, oh, you're just a hater. You're just a hater for doing this. Wait a second. Didn't Candace go after Kimberly? Didn't Candace go after Kimberly Klasick for doing these same things? Isn't she demanding Turning Point to be very transparent about their funds and their fundraising? Yet she is allowed to operate Blexit in the hole by -$1 million every single year for the last 3 years she has it, and then just pawn it off to Turning Point USA? Yeah, in 2023, Turning Point USA became, they took over Blexit because Candace couldn't run it. She was running it into -$1 million every year. In fact, that 2022, it was -$1.7 million. You can go and fact check every single thing I have just said to you. Go to ProPublica.org, look up Blexit organization. Candace, did you lie? Did you lie in 2022 about working 30 hours a week for Blexit? I'm just asking questions.
Yeah, we all love asking questions these days. Yeah. So will this be addressed on the podcast, Candace? Will we be talking about this on the pod? I doubt it. Even with the information right now. This is the same woman that went after the Black Lives Matter organization, which was rightful to do because Black Lives Matter organization was obviously trash. But she went after them with a vengeance. Meanwhile, you sitting up here claiming $250 for work you didn't do, allegedly. So yeah. We got a lot of questions, Candy. Yeah. Because you passed off, which Blexit is now TPUSA Rise. So now TPUSA Rise, is now part of Turning Point, so that nobody cares. And it's not even Blexit anymore. It's all of the coloreds. All of the coloreds. That's the colored department. So they just put all the coloreds in one little pot, and you all come together and do y'all thing over there. But anyway, so I would like for Miss Owens Farmer to address that on her podcast. But I look forward to, I'm pretty sure as soon as she leaves that meeting with Erika Kirk, she's going to go live and tell everything that it was said in there. Or hopefully she doesn't remix it, take it out, blow it up out of context, or say that she was bullied or pressured or, whatever. Who cares? You decided to go in that meeting, have the conversation, dead it, and be done with it. I just don't get the holding on to stuff. Like, I don't get that. Like holding on to grudges. Like have the conversation and move the hell on. Anyway, that's our show for today. I'm gonna go find some medication. If you would like to support the channel, you can go to ajsrantroom.com. That's ajsrantroom.com. If you would like to buy me a tea or a coffee, you can scan this QR code or go to buymeacoffee.com/AJsRantRoom. We also accept cash apps. And please make sure you support my main podcast, which is every Friday. It's called The Rant Experience. It's a variety show, covers politics, pop culture, difficult conversations, inspirational stuff that make you laugh, all of that stuff. Anyway, appreciate y'all. Yes, we're gonna have an abbreviated show today. So anyway, I aspire to be live on TikTok later this afternoon after I go get some good pills. Anyway, I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all so much. And I will catch y'all, Mayana. Peace.